All right, get ready because today we're diving deep into something a little different. Yeah, it's about finance,
Okay.
but with like a happiness twist, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at this article. It's from Finance with Sharang.
Okay.
And he's got this list of 10 things that you can buy to boost your happiness. Which, who knew that, like, a finance person would be giving us advice on happiness?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And-
But he doesn't just, like, tell us to go shopping.
Right.
He actually backs it all up with some research.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to go through all 10 of these points today.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be some stuff that'll really make you think.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah, like you might rethink money and happiness.
Okay.
So, let's jump right in.
Okay.
The first one is kind of a classic debate.
Okay.
Experiences versus material goods.
Right.
Right. Stuff versus doing stuff.
Yeah.
So you've probably heard this, like, buy experiences, not things. But is there science behind that?
Well, yeah. It's not just a saying. There's actually a whole bunch of research
Oh, wow.
that shows that experiences actually give you longer lasting happiness
Really?
than material possessions.
Yeah.
There was this study from San Francisco State University,
Okay.
and they found that it boils down to something called experiential value.
Experiential value.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, so think about, like, if you buy a new gadget,
Okay.
you're really excited when you first get it.
Right.
But with experiences, like going to a concert or a trip,
Yeah.
you have all the anticipation before.
Okay.
You enjoy it during, and then you have the memories after.
Wow.
So it's like triple the happiness.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, if I think about a year from now,
Yeah,
I'm sure I would be smiling more thinking about a weekend trip I took with friends
right.
than, like, that pair of shoes I just had to buy.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper than that.
Okay.
There's something called hedonic adaptation. Yeah. Hedonic adaptation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, we get used to material things.
Okay.
Like, that new car smell fades away and then it's just a car.
Oh, right.
But the experiences,
Yeah.
those stick with us.
That's interesting. So we adapt to this stuff, but the experiences stay with us.
Right, because experiences become part of who we are.
Oh, okay.
Our story.
Right.
They shape how we see the world.
That makes sense. Okay, so that covers experiences.
Yeah.
But then the article kind of throws us a curveball.
Oh.
It talks about buying items that facilitate experiences. So, like, are we allowed to shop now?
Well, yeah, it's not black and white, really.
Okay.
There's this study at University of Michigan, and they found that experiential products can be just as rewarding as the experience.
Interesting. What is an experiential product?
Like, think about a musical instrument, or hiking boots, or even a really good cookbook.
Right.
Those aren't just things. They're tools to help us do things we love. So it's okay if I buy a fancy camera, if I'm really into photography and I'm going to use it on a trip.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more about your intention.
Okay.
Like, are you buying it to just have it?
Right.
Or are you buying it to actually use it and do something you enjoy?
Gotcha. I'm totally rethinking how I shop now. I love it. All right, what's next?
Well, this one might not be a surprise, but the science behind it is pretty cool.
Okay.
We're talking about gifts.
For other people.
Yeah, gifts for other people.
Okay.
Giving gifts always feels good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, what's the research say about it?
Yeah, tell me.
So giving actually activates the reward centers in our brain.
Wow.
It releases all those feel-good hormones like dopamine and oxytocin.
Huh.
So it literally makes us happy.
So it's not just about making the other person happy. It's
Right.
like making myself happy.
Yeah, exactly. There was a study at the University of British Columbia.
Okay.
They found that people who spent money on other people were actually happier
Interesting.
than people who spent the same amount of money on themselves.
Wow.
And it doesn't even have to be like big, expensive gifts.
So even little things, like, can make a difference.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think about a time when you did something nice for somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, maybe about a friend coffee or something.
Yeah.
Or volunteered for a cause you care about.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. What about this idea of, like, buying time? Is that even possible?
Yeah, it might sound kind of strange.
Right.
But we all have the same 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it really matters how we spend it.
Right.
What if you could buy back some of those hours?
Okay. Yeah.
The ones you spend on things that are stressful or just boring.
I mean, I would love that. How does that actually work?
Well, think about the things that make you tired and kind of steal your joy.
Okay.
Maybe cleaning the house, laundry, errands, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You could have someone else do those things, even just sometimes. And then you'd have more time and energy for things you actually like.
So, like, if I hired a cleaning service once a month,
Right.
that would be an investment in my happiness.
Exactly. It's not just a luxury.
Right.
There's actually research on this.
Really?
Yeah, a Harvard Business School study found that people who spent money on time-saving services were more satisfied with their lives. They had less stress, and they had more time for fun stuff and to see people,
That makes sense.
which are both really important for happiness.
It's like giving myself a gift of free time.
Exactly. What if you, looked at your week
Yeah.
and thought about one or two things you could get someone else to do?
I like that. I might try that. Okay, this next one, I think a lot of people struggle with it.
What's that?
Investing in health and fitness.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always fun.
It's not always fun, but it is essential.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just for your body, it's for your mind and emotions too.
Oh, okay.
When you're healthier physically, you tend to feel happier overall.
I mean, I always feel better after a workout, even if I didn't want to go to the gym.
Right.
But this isn't about, like, fancy gym memberships, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It could be buying healthy groceries,
Right?
getting some good walking shoes,
Okay.
or even just signing up for a yoga class.
I see. It's about, like, making choices that are good for my mind and body.
Exactly.
Oh.
And think of it as an investment,
Okay.
not just a cost.
Okay, now this one, I think everyone listening can get behind this one. It's educational courses.
Oh, yeah.
And not just for work,
Right.
right? Just for learning.
Yeah, learning for fun.
Yeah.
It keeps our minds sharp
Right.
and helps us stay curious about things.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes us feel good when we learn something new.
It doesn't have to be like going back to college for a degree, though.
Like,
right?
not at all. It could be an online class,
Right.
a workshop, or just, reading a book on something that interests you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you can even meet people.
I took this cooking class a few months ago.
Oh, nice.
And I learned new things, met some cool people, and now I can cook all these new recipes.
That's awesome. It shows how all these things can kind of work together.
Yeah, to make life better.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of meeting people, this next one is all about social activities.
Right.
I think we all want to feel like we belong,
Definitely. Yeah. We're wired for connection.
Right.
And strong relationships are, like, essential for our well-being.
Okay.
And there are so many ways to invest in those connections.
It's not about, being the most popular person
Right.
or anything like that. It's about having those relationships that are important to you.
Exactly. It could be joining a book club,
Right.
a fitness class with other people,
Mm-hmm.
or volunteering in your community.
I see.
It's about finding your people and making those connections stronger.
I joined a hiking group a few years ago,
Oh, nice.
and I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was so great. That's great.
We saw new trails, shared stories, and made some really good memories.
It's about getting outside of your comfort zone
Right.
and being open to new experiences and connections.
Yeah. You know what? I think I need to do that more. Like, make time for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for a little escape from reality?
Always.
This next one's about travel
Ah, yes.
and how it makes you happier.
Yeah, it's not just a vacation. It's an investment in your well-being.
I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it. But why does travel make us so happy?
Well, they say travel broadens the mind for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It gets us out of our routines,
Right.
lets us experience new cultures and see things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
And then there are the memories, the sights, the sounds, the food,
Right.
the people you meet.
Yeah.
It all becomes part of you.
I love that. Like, woven into your life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some crazy expensive trip around the world, right?
No, not at all. Even a weekend trip to a nearby town
Okay.
or a day trip to a new part of your city can be really good for you.
It's about getting out of your normal environment
Yeah.
and trying new things. Okay, before we go on, can we just do like a quick recap
Yeah, sure.
of what we've talked about so far?
Okay, so we started with experiences versus material things.
Great.
Then we talked about experiential products, which can make those experiences even better.
Okay.
Then we talked about giving gifts and buying back your time by paying someone else to do things.
Right.
And how investing in your health and fitness can really pay off.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked about the importance of lifelong learning
Yeah.
and having strong connections with other people.
Right.
And of course, the transformative power of travel.
Wow. We've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the last two things on Shurang's list.
Okay.
Number 9 is about nurturing our creativity.
Okay.
with hobbies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people will relate to this.
Yeah, definitely. Hobbies are really important for our well-being. They give us a sense of accomplishment and help us deal with stress.
Right.
And they let us express ourselves.
That's true. And sometimes they connect back to those experiential products.
Right, exactly.
Like if you buy art supplies or knitting needles, those are investments in your hobbies.
Yeah, they're not just frivolous purchases, they're investments in your happiness.
I think a lot of us feel like we have to be productive all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but hobbies are a way to just like play.
Absolutely. You know, when I'm working on a creative project, I totally lose track of time.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like meditation.
Yeah, it is. It helps us be more mindful and present.
I love that. You know what? This is making me want to play my guitar again. I used to love that.
Oh, you should. Reconnecting with old hobbies or trying new ones can really bring you joy.
Okay, so we've talked about experiences, relationships, personal growth.
Yeah.
What's the last piece of the puzzle for buying happiness?
It's about making your living environment a comfortable and happy place.
I mean, our homes are sanctuaries, right?
Exactly. And there's more and more research showing that where you live has a big impact on your mood.
But you don't mean like we have to go and completely redecorate, right?
No, not at all.
No.
It's about those little touches that make your space feel good and reflect who you are.
Okay.
Think about how you feel when you walk into a messy, chaotic space versus a clean and organized one.
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel a difference.
Right. Clutter makes you feel stressed.
Mm-hmm.
But when your space is tidy, you feel calmer.
It's not just cleaning, though, right?
Right. It could be adding blankets and pillows to your living room,
Okay.
getting some plants to clean the air and make it feel more natural,
Yeah.
or even just changing the lighting to make it feel more inviting.
Oh, yeah, like soft lighting, a comfy chair, a good book. Sounds perfect.
Right. And, you know, I've heard you've been wanting to get some plants.
I have, yeah. I've heard they can make the air cleaner, too.
Yeah, they can. And being around nature can be calming and help you feel better.
Wow, this is making me realize that even small changes at home can really make a difference.
Yeah, they can. So we've covered all 10 of Shireen's happiness purchases.
We have.
Before we wrap up this part, can I just summarize the key takeaways?
Yeah, please.
So the main thing is you can't just buy happiness,
Okay.
but you can invest in it.
Right?
It's about making choices about how you spend your money
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on things that are important to you and make you feel good.
That's great. It's not about just throwing money at the problem.
Right.
It's about being smart with your money and using it to make yourself happier.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey.
Okay.
You have to be curious and try new things to find what works best for you.
This has been so helpful.
Good.
We'll be back in the next part to talk about how to put all this into practice.
Okay, I'm excited.
Me too. But before that, I'm curious, which of these 10 purchases really stood out to you? And is there one small thing you could do this week to like invest in your happiness?
Yeah, I think giving gifts is the one that really stood out to me.
Giving gifts.
Yeah, like we talked about. It makes other people happy, but also makes you feel good too.
Yeah. Yeah, the research on that was pretty cool.
It is. It is. And it doesn't have to be anything big, right?
Right.
Just a small gesture can make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the thought that counts, as they say.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, it's funny. We've been talking about all these things separately, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but they all kind of connect.
Yeah, like it's not just like a checklist.
Right. Right.
It's more like they all work together.
Exactly. They all work together to create a, happier life, I guess.
I like that. They all fit together.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to see that now.
Yeah. It's like building something with all
Yeah.
these different pieces.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Like imagine you get a new cookbook that's an experiential product,
Right.
and then you use it to cook a meal for your friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're having an experience and connecting with people. Yeah, exactly.
And then you make a nice, inviting space to eat the meal in.
Oh, right. That's the comfortable living environment.
Exactly. So you see, it's not about checking things off a list.
Right, right.
It's about combining these things.
to like create something bigger.
Yes, exactly. Like weaving a tapestry, you know?
I love it. Yeah, tapestry of happiness.
Yeah, a tapestry of happiness, exactly.
That's great. I like that a lot.
But, you know,
What?
we can't really talk about spending and happiness
Yeah.
without talking about, well, money problems.
Right, right.
Money can be a big stressor for people.
That's true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we like balance this idea of buying happiness
Right.
with, you know, the fact that not everyone has a lot of money?
That's a great question, and it's an important one. This isn't about spending money you don't have
Okay, good.
or going into debt to try and be happy.
Right.
It's about being mindful and making choices that work for you and your budget. So, like, it's not about saying, well, I can't afford to be happy.
No, not at all.
It's more like, okay, how can I work with what I have?
Exactly. Maybe you can't go on a big vacation, but you can go to a park for the day.
Right.
Or a museum.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't afford a cleaning service every week.
Right.
But you could trade chores with a friend.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or spend an hour cleaning each weekend.
Right. So it's about being flexible and creative.
Exactly. And finding those little things that bring you joy.
Without breaking the bank.
Exactly. And sometimes the best things in life are free.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a beautiful sunset or a walk in nature.
Right. Yeah, those things are priceless.
Exactly. It's about appreciating what you already have.
This is making me think about gratitude.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like, when you're grateful for what you have, you don't focus so much on what you don't.
Exactly. Gratitude is really powerful.
It is.
It helps you appreciate the good things. And it stops you from comparing yourself to other people.
Right. Which never goes well.
No, it doesn't. It's so easy to get caught up in that.
It is.
But focusing on what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
It's like training your brain to see the positive.
And to be happy with simpler things.
Exactly. A great way to practice gratitude.
Yeah.
Is to write down 3 things you're thankful for each day.
I've heard that. I've never actually done it.
You should try it.
Yeah.
It really works.
I think I will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about spending wisely, being grateful, and all that. Are there any other, tips for actually using all this in our lives?
Yeah, I think it's helpful to check your spending every now and then.
Okay.
Like, look at your bank statements.
Yeah.
Or credit card bills.
Okay.
And ask yourself, what did I buy this month that actually made me happy? What do I wish I had spent more on?
Okay.
What do I regret buying?
Oh, that's interesting. Like a happiness checkup for your spend?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You might find that some things you thought you'd enjoy didn't really bring you joy.
Right.
And maybe some things you didn't think much about actually made you really happy.
Huh. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing. What else?
Well, it's also good to set goals related to these happiness purchases.
Oh, okay.
So, for example,
Yeah.
your goal could be to try one new experience every month. Or to donate to a different charity every few months.
Nice.
Having those goals can keep you focused.
And it makes it more likely that you'll actually do them.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be anything big.
Oh, great.
Right? Maybe your goal is just to spend 30 minutes every day doing something you love.
Okay.
Like reading.
Yeah.
Listening to music. Or spending time outside.
It's about making those choices every day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
This whole conversation has really changed how I think about happiness.
Oh, that's good.
I'm starting to see that it's not something I have to wait for or achieve someday.
It's something you can create.
Yeah, it's something I can do now.
Yeah.
With the choices I make every day.
Exactly. It's about making your life feel good and meaningful.
That's beautiful. I love that.
And it's important to remember.
What?
Happiness isn't always going to be there.
Oh.
There will be tough times.
Yeah, that's life.
It's part of being human.
You can't have the good without the bad.
Right.
Right.
You have to be kind to yourself during those tough times.
Yeah. Yeah, those moments are important too.
They are. It's all about balance,
Right.
Happiness isn't about avoiding all the bad stuff. It's about learning to be strong and finding joy even when things are hard.
That's a good point. You know what can really help with that?
What?
Helping other people.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, it makes you feel good to give.
It does.
Yeah.
And it can be something small, right?
Yeah, like volunteering your time.
Yeah.
Or helping a neighbor.
Right.
Or just being kind in general.
Exactly. Like holding the door for someone.
Yeah.
Or giving someone a compliment.
Right.
Or just listening to a friend who's having a hard time.
Yeah, all those little things add up.
They do.
Yeah.
It reminds you that happiness isn't just about you.
Right, it's about connecting with other people.
Yeah.
And making the world a little bit better.
Exactly.
This deep dive has been amazing.
I'm glad.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
I'm really starting to see that happiness isn't something you buy. It's something you create.
Yeah.
By making good choices.
Right.
And focusing on the right things.
Exactly. It's about making a life you love.
Yes, I love that. A life you love.
Yeah, it's an ongoing journey, right?
It is.
So be curious, experiment,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to try new things.
I'm excited to keep learning about this.
Me too.
This has been such a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's been a pleasure.
I hope everyone listening feels inspired to go out and create a life they love.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
Yes, it is. And until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
Okay, welcome back. I am like, my brain is just full of all these ideas about buying happiness.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's not about like just spending a ton of money.
Right.
It's more about like being smart and choosing things that really matter.
Yeah, being intentional with your spending.
So in this last part of our deep dive, let's like get practical.
Okay.
What can we actually do to, put all this into action?
Okay, well, one thing you could try is creating a happiness budget.
A happiness budget.
Yeah.
What's that?
So it's like a regular budget.
Okay.
But instead of bills and necessities, you set aside money for things that make you happy.
I love that.
Yeah, it could be for experiences or personal growth or hobbies, anything from those 10 things we talked about.
So I'm like giving myself permission to spend money on joy.
Exactly. You're investing in your well-being.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money, right?
No, not at all. Even a small amount can make a difference. Okay, so like maybe $50 a month.
Yeah.
For a fun outing or a new book or, donating to a charity.
Exactly. It's just about being intentional about how you use that money to reach your happiness goals.
It's like tricking my brain into making happiness as important as paying bills.
Exactly. Plus, it can be fun to find ways to boost your happiness even when you don't have a lot to spend.
You know what? This makes me think about all those times I bought stuff online and then regretted it later.
Impulse purchases.
Yeah, those are definitely not good for the happiness budget.
No, they're not. One thing that can help is the 24-hour rule.
What's that?
Before you buy anything you don't really need, wait a day.
Okay.
It gives you time to, cool down and really decide if you want it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and often you realize you don't even need it after all.
Right. And then I can use that money for something else.
Exactly.
We've talked a lot about experiences.
Yeah.
But it's hard to fit those in when life gets busy.
That's true.
How can we make sure we're actually prioritizing those?
You have to be proactive.
Okay.
Put those experiences on your calendar, just like you would a work meeting.
Make them like appointments.
Exactly. Whether it's a date night or coffee with a friend or a hike by yourself, block out that time.
Don't let anything else get in the way.
Right. And remember, they don't have to be big or expensive.
Okay.
Sometimes the little moments are the ones you remember most.
It's about being present in those moments.
Yes, exactly.
We also have to remember that happiness isn't constant.
Oh, right.
We're going to have tough times no matter how much we try to be happy.
That's so true.
It's just part of life.
Yeah. It's important to be kind to yourself during those times.
It's okay to not be okay sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's about balance,
Right.
and resilience. Finding joy even when things are hard.
You know what I think helps with that? Helping other people.
Oh, yeah. Giving is such a powerful happiness booster.
Like we said before, it doesn't have to be a lot of money.
Right. Maybe you volunteer your time or help a neighbor or just do something kind for someone.
Like hold a door open or give a compliment or just listen to a friend who needs to talk.
Exactly. Those little things can make a big difference in someone's day, and yours too.
It's a good reminder that happiness isn't just about me. It's about connection and making the world a better place.
I love that.
This deep dive has been amazing.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much about happiness.
Me too.
It's not something you buy, it's something you create.
Exactly.
By making good choices and focusing on the things that matter.
And it's a journey,
Yeah.
So keep exploring and trying new things.
Well, this has been a fantastic conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey of buying happiness.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've learned some valuable insights and are inspired to create a life full of joy and meaning.
We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep
Right.
diving deep.